Greetings, St. Peter family. My name is Paul Goffron, and I'm the new principal here at St. Peter Lutheran School. I'd like to give you a brief update as to how my first month has been in office. I'd like to first start by thanking you for welcoming me into this community. I've met a number of church members informally as you've come in and out of the building over the course of this first month. You've greeted me with open arms and welcoming words and kindness, and I really appreciate that. I'd like to thank the staff that have been present over the summer, working hard and diligently on their lists of to-dos that they already had. And then on top of that, they put on there making sure that I, as the new principal, was acclimated and was ready to get down to business as soon as I came in the building. So thank you so much for that. I'd like to thank the school families that I was able to meet in person in June at that Popsicles with the Principal event. I thought it was a great event, and it was a good time to be able to see some faces and learn some names, and I promise in the future I'm going to be able to connect those. I'd also really like to thank my teaching staff. From our teachers to our teachers' assistants, you've given me a lot of time over this first month in one-on-one conversations, and I've learned and I've gained a lot of insight from that, so thank you very much. This first month has really been focused on relationship building. This is a big staff here at St. Peter, and there's a lot to do in this ministry. And so for me, it was critically important to spend time one-on-one with each staff member to be able to gain some insight into their perspective on really what makes St. Peter great, where our strengths are, and where we need to grow. I've had open and honest conversations, and I can't tell you how grateful for that I really am. I've spent a lot of time learning about the organization, its history, where we've been, and where people think we should be going. I've also learned how to find my way through the building. I'm not a pro yet, but I can tell you that I haven't gotten lost, at least in the last couple of weeks. Our school verse for the year is Ephesians 4:15, and we've shortened it and abridged it to really more like Jesus. So this school year verse, Ephesians 4:15, be more like Jesus, sets us a pretty high bar in life, doesn't it? I mean, Jesus was perfect. He was without sin, without error. He was the one and only Son of our Heavenly Father. So being more like Jesus sets a pretty high bar, but we know that setting a high bar and striving for that is something that is God-pleasing and something that we will continue to work towards, and that we as Christians should work towards on a daily basis. So we as a staff, we as parents, we as a community, we set that before ourselves as we set that in front of our students, and we look to move towards that together. Now, one of the ways that this goal is going to be, if it can be, a little bit more easy to accomplish or to work towards, let's say, is going to be if we do this in community. I've heard over and over that the community of St. Peter's is incredibly strong, and we want to be back in a strong-knit community. COVID-19 threw a real wrench into communities and schools and churches, and we are grateful that we've made a lot of progress through this pandemic. And so as we look forward, we look to do more as a community and be reunited and reconnected and be invested in the ministry here, which also in turn helps us to be invested in our kids' education. Philippians 2:1-4 tells us the importance of community. Therefore, if you have any encouragement from being united with Christ, if any comfort from his love, if any common sharing the Spirit, if any tenderness and compassion, then make my joy complete by being like-minded, having the same love, being one in spirit and one in mind. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourself, not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others. If we can take this verse and apply it to how we look at ourselves as a community here at St. Peter Lutheran Church School for this school year, I'm quite confident that the Spirit will move through us, and it will support us in reaching and attaining and striving for on a daily basis that goal of being more like Jesus. I look forward to connecting with you over the course of the school year. I encourage those church members that I'm speaking to today that if you don't have a direct connection to the school, we'd love to have you connected during school events, to be visitors in the building, to volunteer. As you know, Lutheran schools run on volunteerism. To those school families, I encourage you to get connected. We'll have opportunities to meet those that are directing and leading our PTL group, and we want to get you connected and find ways and availability that you can come in and help serve and use those gifts that you've been blessed with. I thank you for the support that you've given St. Peter's over the years. If you're new, I welcome you to the family, and I look forward to staying connected with you and being connected with the church community over the course of the upcoming years.